I believe this is the last video I'm going to make on Blue Bacon because at this point I can only assume he's trolling me. Now, Mr. Bacon, if you're watching this and you are actually having trouble understanding this and you want help, let me know. And we can talk about it maybe on Discord, maybe on a phone call or something like that. But at this point, I can only assume you're trolling me. Because on a video where I expressly state that it is a content-based restriction, and I go over in detail that it is a content-based restriction, he says, like Merb said, it isn't a content-based restriction. I'm flabbergasted. I don't even know. I can't understand. And it doesn't get better. It gets worse. He says, don't film the buildings within the base. This is clearly established within the statute. It's clearly established, he says. The word building doesn't appear anywhere in the statute. Bacon is, I guess, assuming that installation means building. It doesn't necessarily mean building. It might. But the building would still have to be marked top secret, secret, or classified. This is an appeal to authority, and it's not even a good one. I'm assuming if you said the dissenting opinions of two justices, dissenting opinions of justices aren't precedent. They're generally not useful. Occasionally, a dissenting opinion will become the new majority opinion, but generally speaking, dissenting opinions of justices aren't useful. Dissenting opinions of judges, I don't know what he's talking about unless he's talking about Toledo Blade and Genovese. And we don't have it's not a dissenting opinion. We don't have an opinion from the judge in Toledo Blade. So I can't ignore what I don't have. And again, it is a district court. It would be a district court decision, which isn't very helpful. And as far as Genovese go, again, the judge did not get briefed by the plaintiff's counsel. Plaintiff's counsel said, I can't argue that. The judge didn't look into it anymore. The judge got briefed by one side who probably misquoted it and misunderstood it. He asked plaintiff's counsel. Plaintiff's counsel said, I can't argue that. And that's it. The judge didn't go back into his chamber and spend the next 2 days researching on the topic, going through executive orders and trying to figure it out. They're busy people. He expected that the plaintiff's attorney did it. He expected the plaintiff's attorney spent that time. And if the plaintiff's attorney couldn't find anything, then the judge is going to let that ride. Two attorneys' opinions. I don't care about attorneys' opinions. I am an attorney. I argue with attorneys all the time. I spent all day today arguing with attorneys. Attorneys are just as dumb as everybody else and just as smart as everybody else. And there are some damn good attorneys and there's some damn stupid attorneys. And every attorney has been right and every attorney has been wrong. But this is just an appeal to authority. And when you start appealing to the Secretary of the Army, that is a terrible appeal because the Secretary of the Army has fuck all to do with the law. Fuck all. Fuck all to do with the law. The judge of Genovese has more to do with the law than the Secretary of the Army. Nobody cites the Secretary of the Army except for MPs. He says restrictions on the manner of expression can be upheld if they meet certain elements. Yeah, what are those elements? 18 U.S.C. 795 would appear to meet those elements. What elements? He says, I'm not sure what most of your comment means. You're not sure what your own comment means, Bacon. And this is the pièce de résistance. This is really what drove me over the edge. This statement right here is what makes me think that Bacon is just a world-class fucking troll. Because he's got Rocker T wound up, and then he drops this bombshell on him. The restriction of the subject matter that can't be filmed falls under narrowly tailoring to serve a significant government interest, not content. The restriction of the subject matter is not content. That's what he's saying. He's saying that the restriction on the subject matter is not content. He's saying the restriction on the subject matter is not content. Now, I'm not lightly calling you a troll, Mr. Bacon. You may not be a troll. And I happen to have a very fond love affair with trolls. As you can see, I am an OG troll. Thank you, Ida Foxy Queen. I've been around forever. But I'm not going to assist you anymore if you're just trolling me. So like I said, if you are actually having difficulty understanding this, let me know. But I'm going to give this one final shot. One final shot. This is what we were going to look at yesterday, and I ran out of time. A statute criminalizing indecent phone messages is content-based. Because you have to look at it to see if it's indecent. It's not just any phone message, it's only indecent phone messages. It's not just any photograph, it's photographs of this. That looks like a real parallel, doesn't it? Indecent phone messages. Pictures of the vital military, naval, and installations or equipment. Don't they look similar? They look similar, don't they? A law imposing financial burdens on literary works by former felons mentioning past crimes. Wait, back to this one. If this was just a manner restriction, it sounds like it is, right? Because it's just for phone messages. So you could send email, text, Snapchat, Facebook, Discord. You could send indecent messages any way you want except as phone messages. But it's content-based because they have to listen to the phone message to determine if it's indecent. A law imposing financial burdens on literary works by former felons mentioning past crimes. Well, it only impacts literary works. They can still write movies. They can still sing about it. They can do interpretive dance about their past crimes. They could blog about it. They could write poetry about it. They just can't write books about it. So that's just a what do you call it? A manner of expression restriction. But it's not, because they have to read the book to figure out if it mentions past crimes. It's the content of the book. It's the content of the photo. The District of Columbia law prohibiting the display of signs critical of foreign governments within a certain distance outside embassies. They have to look at the content of the signs. Oh, well, they could have T-shirts that are critical. They can have bullhorns shouting criticisms of those foreign governments. They could have interpretive dance pickets criticizing those foreign governments. But it's because that the signs, they have to look at what the signs say to determine whether or not it's violating the statute. They have to look at what the photograph says to determine whether or not it violates the statute. Now, Content-based laws are presumptively unconstitutional and subject to strict scrutiny, the highest form of judicial review, whereas content-neutral laws generally must only survive intermediate scrutiny. Well, if you click strict scrutiny, you get to this page. This is the test. This is the test I've been telling you about. Gosh golly. It requires that it's narrowly tailored or least restrictive means to achieve an interest that's compelling. It has to be a compelling government interest, and it has to be the least restrictive means to achieve that interest. Once again, vital military and naval installations or equipment that have been designated, marked, or classified top secret, secret, or secret by the powers that be are compelling government interest. That national security interest is compelling. And making that content, those top secret, secret, and classified things be located in a base means that somebody has to go out of their way to film it. They've got to enter the base. They've got to get through all that security. They've got to go past all those signs that say photography is not allowed in this area. So it's narrowly tailored, and it's the least restrictive means to do it. Most narrowly tailored. It's the least restrictive means of doing it. So I hope that helps you out, Mr. Bacon. That's the last time I'm doing it. Unless you contact me and you let me know that you're actually having an issue with what we're talking about, then this is it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.